Hey you guys, Lacey Lee Elliott here, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. And this is my 11-month full-time RV living update. Now, if you are new to my channel, or possibly you've been following me for the last year, you might have noticed that I didn't have a post up last month, and honestly, I've been kind of MIA from YouTube for the last little while, and well, that is going to be what I'm talking about in today's video. And that is that I've really been struggling with some anxiety. RV life has been amazing for parts of my anxiety, but not so amazing for other parts of my anxiety. Today I'm going to talk about that. Now, this video is going to be very real and raw and vulnerable and emotional. And for those of you that don't like that, then I suggest you stop watching. And a lot of you are really mean. A lot of you were making comments to me about, buck up, stop your crying, don't post this shit on YouTube, put on your big girl panties. Do you know that there are homeless people on the streets that have things worse than you? Yeah, I do. But that doesn't make my situation or my feelings or my emotions any different. It's like I've had 2 miscarriages. And for anyone that has been through that, even once, it is the worst feeling in the world. And telling me in that moment of sadness after my 2nd miscarriage that stop crying, don't be such a baby. Do you know that there are people in the world that have had 3 miscarriages? That's like you people out there that have made the comment to me about, do I know that there are homeless people that have it way worse than me? Yes, there are. Yes, there is. But it doesn't make my pain, my suffering, my sadness in that moment any less. But I also want to say to those people, thank you. Your mean comments have reminded me about my why, so thank you for that. That I have struggled with anxiety and depression. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I didn't want people to know because I was worried that they would think less of me. So I kept it silent. Makes me feel bad, makes me sad, it makes me angry, it makes me emotional, and I'm tired of feeling embarrassed or ashamed because of it. And I want other people to know that it's okay to not be okay. One of the best things about the RV living and the RV life has been, especially when I'm talking about anxiety, the fresh air. Right here, I mean, just outside my window, it's beautiful out here. I wake up every morning to silence and beauty, and on the flip side, for me, it is cold. And that is the video that I posted last year, 12 months ago, was that I thought I made a mistake with the RV living because I was not expecting it to be this cold. I wasn't expecting to feel this way. Another thing with the anxiety that has been so great is the ability to travel. Being able to pack up and go anywhere, pretty much anytime I want. The last 11 months, I've had such amazing adventures just traveling locally from Whistler and Kelowna here in beautiful British Columbia, all the way down to Mexico on the Isla, driving through Death Valley and Arizona and Vegas. The feeling has been incredible. But where my anxiety is coming back is the fact that you need to work, you need to have money to be able to do this. And coming home to Canada was because I had work. I really want to leave again this winter, but I don't think it's gonna happen. If you were following my journey, one of the reasons I went to Mexico last year was because I'd gotten out of an abusive relationship and recovered from a brain tumor. I literally was in a place where life was short and I was saying, F you, world. F you, because I'm leaving. What is giving me anxiety right now is the fact that I have bills to pay and I have a job and that I need money in order to do more traveling. And this brings me to the part of the anxiety that things break in RVs all the time, even parked stationary. Things go wrong way more in this travel trailer than they ever did in a condo or a townhouse. And the piece of my anxiety that's been really good has been when I've had problems, I've been able to figure things out on my own. And when I do it, I feel like $1 million because I've been competent and able to do it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I made a commitment last year that I would give it 12 months. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it work. I've been so cold here. I have the propane heat as well as a small electric heater. Unfortunately, a couple of things when it comes to the heat. The electric heater, if I get anything too powerful, blows out a fuse. The thermostat for the propane heat is in the bedroom. Once the bedroom gets nice and warm and toasty, the heat turns off in the rest of my unit. Yeah, I know. I know there are other people out there that have it worse than I do. I really do. I've realized that I like to be warm, and I realize that being warm makes me happy, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm still working on heading south again. It's still not completely off the table. At the end of the day, I know despite the struggles and despite how hard this has been, I pushed through it. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm a different person than I was a year ago. I've had some struggles. I've had a lot of struggles in my fucking life, not just the last 11 months living in my RV, because that's what life is all about. It's not puppy dogs, rainbows, and roses all the time. There are miscarriages and death and cancer and divorces and abusive partners in the world, and it sucks. And it is okay to cry. It is okay to be upset. You're human. This has been a hard year for me, and I've pushed through, and I'll be honest, there have been some times I wanted to quit. There have been some times I wanted to just stay in bed and not face life, period. I know I've inspired a lot of you. I know that there are so many of you that I've touched. And that is why I'm sharing my journey. I'm not done. But I said I'd give it a year. And I am damn proud of myself for keeping my word and fighting through even though it wasn't easy. Life sucks sometimes for all of us at some point. And I want those of you out there that have cried, who have struggled, who have sat in the back of your closet and pondered even living. You didn't give up. You're still here. I'm still here, fighting the fight and moving forward. And that is amazing. I'm not finished with my story. Freya most likely is going to sit in storage for a few months, but I'm not done with her. This has been an amazing 11 months, and I just need to figure out how I can make this a more comfortable and a more permanent thing, so that all the things that have made my anxiety better, I can focus on instead of the things that have been making it worse. When people are having a tough time, when they're sad or anxious or scared and they don't feel they can talk about it, that's when suicides happen, because people don't know how to deal with it on their own. Suicide rates are on the rise. And I believe with all of my heart that this is a huge reason. That as a society, we tell people to buck up, to stop crying, to grow up. And we become ashamed and become embarrassed that we're having a tough time. We're afraid to let other people know that we're struggling and ask for help. I really hope that those of you who have left those nasty comments here on YouTube about me and my crying, and anyone who might have ever made comments like that to someone who's having a rough time, that maybe you just think about it for a minute. We've all struggled. Some of us worse than others, some of us different struggles than others, but it doesn't make our struggles any worse. Talking about it so we don't feel alone is going to be the only way that we can get through this and change the stigma.